Dear Professor, I'm Zhangxu. My topic is an empirical study on the self-declaration system in CTP changes. Here is my agenda. It includes introduction, research background, research questions and objectives, literature review, gaps identified, theoretical and conceptual framework, research methodology, and Q&A. Here is the abstract. Chapter 1 presents the previous discussions of this study, especially the definition of CTP, definition of transfer, definition of self-report system, history of CTP, management of CTP, or management of transfer. Chapter 2 reviews the previous study, especially in order to understand how to investigate the CTP so far. Research by the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the Japan Universal Management Association, and the Institute of Labor Administration have presented them. Next, to clarify the actual investigation of self-report systems so far. The Institute of Labor Administration, the Japan Productivity Center, the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, and the Recruitment Management Solution are presented for the research. Furthermore, to clarify how to fully leverage the self-report system, we present the studies conducted by Yokoyama, Fuji, and the Institute of Labor Administration. Chapter 3 presents the study of design of the study. Especially the first propose the subject of the survey and then propose the objectives and the method of the survey. Here is the introduction. According to Tanucci, the CDP was implemented for Army civilian officials under the Hoover Commission's 1955 recommendation. But regarding the factors driving its introduction, Matsuda said that in the United States, the reforms of the federal government inefficient and increased labor costs were designed to improve management, but in Japan, a long-term human resource development program. Here is the research background. Among them, I'm interested in the transfer and the resettlement. Japanese enterprises have been known as a strong command and command since ancient times. This is a management team close to the military, and while perhaps not a very good analogy, the mission of the employees is to follow the company's orders. That is to say, after entering the company, each employee's personal intention is not much reflected in the decision type of work position, workplace, and other aspects. Here is research objective and questions of both. Here are two parts. Part 1, research questions. First, the outline of the CDP and handover of the company will be clarified, and through various investigations, the outline operation status, document review, interview, achievements of the self-report system implemented by the company. Second, clarify the efforts of enterprises to make good use of self-evaluation system, especially companies that will make good use of CDP to transfer their self-assessment systems. The gaps identified. Here is theoretical and conceptual framework. This is research methodology. The method is qualitative. Then case studies were conducted to elucidate the above aims. The study method of this study is a case study. My experience as a researcher at a consulting firm. On this basis, based on the case of self-evaluation system of each company, the key points of the self-evaluation system are summarized. For example, Nothing that it is useful for various systems such as hierarchy, assessment systems, payroll systems, mobilization, allocation, employee certification surveys, organizational culture surveys, capacity development, career development, etc. The relationship between this study and the study discussed the content relevant to the design of the self-report system, which was not mentioned in this study, and is complementary to the study. In particular, the purpose and the design of the self-assessment system is a summary of how many companies use the self-assessment system. So we believe that we'll focus on utilizing the self-assessment system in this study. Here is the analysis about the use of self-assessment system: originality, personal management, reference, personal adjustment to satisfy the will as much as possible. Other systems directly introduces support employees to solve private problems, to the elderly for the formation of a second career. If the system need to recognize, recruit, an easy to understand system, personal idea, in order to seek the company and the staff was consistent, put forward the various kinds of thinking, such as quick people can always see environment. Here is hypothesis summary. The research of marketing strategies at home and abroad is relatively mature, but is also constantly supplemented and optimized with the rapid changes market. Following research on traditional retail and network retail marketing strategies is relatively isolated, and it's in the thematic research some of the author fully combines the actual situation of the Chinese market, more around the background of mobile internet network marketing and consumer behavior analysis, summarize and put forward the marketing field with prospective practical review, but still is given priority to with the online link. Anything can be isolated. Here is the discussion part. First, the capacity development measures are considered more important than transfer measures in the CDP system. Secondly, the declaration method and the feeding methods of enterprise self-evaluation system are different, which are characterized by enterprise intranet feeding and enterprise internal email feeding. Here is the contribution. First, in order to make good use of a self-evaluation system, the person in charge of the system will just document review. Secondly, in order to make good use of a self-evaluation system, the system responsible person must make clear of the changes due to the system. Here is the references. Thank you for listening. That's all.